What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new video. Boom! Another cam kit. So VF Series 2, beautiful car, auto. So it's got the paddle shift, sunroof model. Just, if I was going to own a Commodore, this would be the one. If it wasn't an HSV, this would be the Commodore that I would freaking own. But I'll probably never own one because I'll never make any money. But anyway, we're doing a cam kit to this one. A little bit different to what we normally do. So pretty common for us, these rectangle ports, is CNC heads, the 1287 with the 2800 to 3000 stall, transcooler, the rest exhaust OTR, usually around that between 460, 480 horsepower. This one doesn't want it so serious. Wanted to still keep it fairly mild, moderately mild. So we're putting the 1286, which is the 1287's little brother, into this LS3. So the 1286 is a really nice cam that we've found in quite a few cam packages. Works really well for manual cars that don't, if you don't want to deal with the pig rooting and the downsides of having a cammed V8, I guess, and you want to be still car park drivable, daily mannered cammed V8 that still gets pretty good results. This is a good cam for that. And particularly in these instances where the customer doesn't want to go down the road of a custom torque converter or an aftermarket torque converter, which then eliminates the necessity for a big transcooler, you know, without all that extra slip, all that extra heat generated by the converter. You don't particularly need transcooler, although it is still obviously very well recommended if you're doing any sort of hard work or towing or anything, but in this case it's not going to be needed. So 1286, a little bit less aggressive, pairs pretty well with the stock converter, and you still get quite a good result. So the advantage of that, obviously, it doesn't drive like a car with an aftermarket converter. A lot of people just think that a converter, all it does is just raise the slip speed, but it doesn't. You know, they're smaller, you have more torque multiplication happening, they feel a lot more aggressive than a stock converter, but not everyone wants that. So what you do find is, because the stock converter has less slip, you do find generally that they put out a bit more power than it would if you had put an aftermarket converter in it. So it closes that gap between the 1287 package and the 1286 package a little bit, because you don't get that same converter slip and you don't have the same power, like the same losses through the converter that you would with the 1287 package. And yeah, we have found that these packages with the 1286, I think we did one in the VF Ute last year that went like 440 or something, which for what I'd call a daily drivable car, or something that you can pair with a completely stock torque converter and still get around, and is a really, really, really good result. So yeah, they work pretty well. Anyway, Rex has just got done doing the pre-runs, and how weird. Look at this. Look at that. That's a lambda. So you come in, you're still at wide open throttle, all the way to 4,500 RPM, up around 0.93, 0.94 lambda, before it actually drops down to where it sort of should be, around that 0.88. It's just wild. These things, you can never guess it, you can never pick it. They swing for the fences. They're so wildly inconsistent, it's insane. So, like I said, everyone, Commodore is a good, really good vehicle, but if you're gonna do any modifications, even if you're not gonna do any modifications, I recommend you go get it properly calibrated by someone like ourselves or someone closer if you're watching from not your ass, because like we have seen just some horrendous factory calibrations. It's so weird how they swing for the fences. We had that red one here, the red VF that we did. I don't even know if we did a cam package on that or not. I think it was just an oil cooler and some other things for track work, but it was like one lambda the whole way, wide open throttle, one lambda, like scary lean, like going to do damage lean. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough, guys. We've done enough of them, and we've done enough pre-runs on completely stock calibrations, and we've seen some wild things. I really recommend you get your car tuned one way or another. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get this happening. So this one's going to get a complete Harrop exhaust. So because it's a Series 2 VF, it's got factory bimodal mufflers, and the bimodal is, you can tune with it. You can actually make it part of the tune when it opens, closes, what you want it to do. I believe there's controls inside. And Harrop, as far as I'm aware, are the only company that make a full, true, complete 3-inch exhaust with bimodal mufflers that accept the factory bimodal motors off the VF, which means that all of your factory bimodal things are retained. So you can still use it with a tune. All the factory controllers and everything still works for the upgraded aftermarket exhaust, where, you know, X-Force do a Varex kit, which is essentially the same thing, but it uses its own proprietary controller. You can't link it with the controller that's in the car. You can't use the factory motors to get around that with the Varex system. So yeah, as far as we're aware, X-Force do a system that retains the factory mufflers. But what that means is you got 3" basically from your extractors, or whatever headers you decide. On the X-Force one, you got 3". 3" exhaust is like actually one up on the pallet rack in there, but it's 3" basically back until the diff section, where it then essentially splits back into the factory size exhaust into the factory mufflers, which I think are 2 1/4, which depending on the setup you got, you know, being that far back where the air's cooled so much and lost a lot of its volume, it's probably super important, but this customer ultimately decided that he wanted the full 3" with the Harrop, and I believe that Harrop are the only company that do that system to work on these things. So full Harrop exhaust, OTR, 1286, standard converter. Let's see what this thing does. I'm hoping for 420, 430 I'd be happy with. So let's get it, see what it does. All right, one LS3 out of the car, cleaned up. Get the heads off, get this thing canned. All right, so Bo's got this thing all canned and ready to go back in the big VF. So, same as always, guys, LS7 lifters, CHE trunnion upgrade. What push rods ended up in it?
7350s.
7350s, that's pretty standard for how much we got milled off these heads, how much we got decked off them. So yeah, heads are all serviced, full timing set with a Torrington bearing. As always, new high pressure oil pump for this thing. Dual springs, Crow 1286, which is what we always pair with a stock converter car. All the normal things for this sort of kit. Standard head bolts and standard crank bolt, because this is like a level 1 kit, being that it's only a 1286. Not a huge power thing, and a lot of people like to cut a bit of cost out of the cam kits when they're doing something like this. Obviously, people who don't want to spend money on converters and that sort of thing, not going for the aggressive options. Yeah, we do have cheaper options for those sorts of things. But yeah, she's looking good. It's going to need some new engine mounts. The engine mounts that are already in it were pretty sad, so we've got some new engine mounts here to go in as the motor goes back in. So fresh engine mounts, all the rest. It will still get ARP, converter and flex plate bolts. Decided to put them in just because, just a bit of safety. Yeah, happy days. All right, guys, so as you can see, VF is pretty much all together. And about the last thing we are waiting on is just a little bit more oil before it goes on the dyno, which should be here in about the next 20 minutes or so. But yeah, all sorted. OTR arrived, exhaust has arrived. The boys fitted the exhaust on Friday. I wasn't here, but they are very, very impressed with how it was to fit. You know, by this point, we've fitted most brands of exhaust to these things. Really happy with these tips, the black Harrop tips, with the Harrop etched in, especially on the black and white VF. They just look really, really neat, really good. And yeah, the boys reckon to fit it was really good. So obviously the Harrop systems are quite expensive. We still highly rate the Black Ops for the price, but at the end of the day, you do get what you pay for. It is what it is. You know, the Black Ops perform well. They fit reasonably well for a cheap exhaust. All the cheaper exhausts seem to fit about as bad as each other. So not a very good yardstick, but I mean, the Black Ops are still good for what they are and how much they cost. But for as far as higher end exhaust, we've done quite a few. I'm not going to name names or throw anyone under the bus, but of all of the ones that we've done, the boys reckon that this Harrop exhaust definitely was the best fitting. So interested to see how it performs and sounds, which we should know quite soon. But anyway, ready to get this thing on the dyno, get some time on it and see what results we get out of it. Looking forward to it. All right, we're ready to hear this thing. There you are. Just while the boys are buttoning up the air dam and stuff, I'll just give you a look at this exhaust. Looking very nice. Nice, fairly long tube headers. And yeah, the boys reckon it just... Oh, I like where they put the O2s. Yeah, boys reckon it just fit really well, and they were really impressed with it. And as you can hear, sounds awesome. Sounds really good. ladies and gentlemen, what a result. This has absolutely blown us away. What's going on here? It's, by all accounts, just ridiculous, but hey, it is what it is. Boom, 464. The highest rate actually did go 470, but it had a little bit of knock, so we actually pulled a little bit of timing out of it, kept it nice and safe. But from 350 to 464 is just insane. So yeah, for a 1286, not CNC ported heads or anything, just decked and serviced heads, 1286 stock converter car, like yeah, that's crazy. So like we know that the 1286 does get quite good results, and the fact that it is stock converter does help as well, because you don't get as much converter slip as you do with the aftermarket converter. So make no mistake, even though the 1287 with an aftermarket converter and an otherwise similar package doesn't make a heap more power, like without CNC heads, the 1287 with a 3000 converter, we expect to see around that 470. So it's not a heaps more power, but it is quite a bit more mid-range, and the driving experience is very different because of the changing converter. The reason you don't see the power on the numbers is because you get a bit more slip from that converter with the aftermarket converter. So, but yeah, just thought I'd explain that. But that is still just an insane result for what this is. We have done VF2 Auto 1286, and it went 440, and that surprised the hell out of us. But it was a 6 litre, and it just had HSV headers and OTI and stuff like that. So this thing being LS3, and obviously I believe this Harrop exhaust is probably helping quite a bit with that result. But yeah, man, this thing sounds awesome, and that is just a wicked result. By all accounts, anyone that's wondering, this 1286, we pair this cam with these stock converters. It's got a really nice big lobe separation angle and a moderately short intake duration, so it does drive quite well. That's why we're happy to pair it with these stock converter cars. It's not real pig rooty and aggressive, but you know, anything over the 1286, once you go to that 1287, we don't like to pair them with a stock converter, and that's why we sort of draw the line at having to go aftermarket store converter, you know, then a transcooler for the extra slip and then everything to keep them streetable. But yeah, this setup is still very street friendly, very nice to drive with just a stock converter. So it's sort of the best result as far as like a budget option, someone who doesn't want an aggressive converter and that sort of thing. But yeah, this thing sounds awesome, and that is just crazy. Boy, that's insane. So you can see here, really healthy torque increase across the board, and then power, just, yeah, man, this is nuts. I can't believe that this made this much power. This exhaust must be working really, really well. But yeah, this cam, this combo, this exhaust, LS3, it just is freaking working so well. Like just thinking about some of the other cars that we have, you know, had here that have been cammed by other places that just mismatch parts, and like the amount of effort some people have gone to get not even close to that. And for this very basic, very simple, not super aggressive setup, for it to make that sort of power is just crazy. It's awesome. Anyway, we're super stoked. But anyway, that's pretty much that. I'm a huge fan of this car. Like I said, VF Series 2, LS3, paddle shift, like this. I love this car. I'm a big fan. Big fan. So next thing is just to do gearbox tune, really basically firm up these shifts quite a bit in the sports part of the gearbox or on the paddles and stuff like that. Obviously, for just the regular drive, leave it nice and cruisy. So that's still really nice to drive, but yeah. What a result. Awesome stuff. Anyway, it's another one done, finished. Happy with that. Righto guys, so just thought I'd bring you along for a bit of a drive in the car. I would like to start doing this at the end of a lot of these videos a bit more, seeing as we never really do. We just cam them and send them out, and I don't really get any of these videos, but just wanted to show you how well this behaves, considering that it is, you know, nearly 470 horsepower at the wheels with a standard converter. So just pretty much drives like a factory car still. Like obviously it is cammed. There's always going to be that little bit of push on the converter, but there's not any pig rooty, disgusting, you know, cammed, really aggressive cam things. There are a lot of ways that you can help that with the tune, which a lot of people don't do. And yeah, this thing just car park daily driver manners. But 470 horsepower at the wheels, and it's certainly no slug.
You can hear that, those exhausters open. You listen once as soon as we start moving. Hear them shut.
Oh yeah,
That's
bimodal shut.
camshaft.
Yeah, it just sounds like a factory car with the bimodal shut. And they open up. So yeah, you just get that little bit of push when you're on the brake on the converter, but it's something that you get used to really quick. It's definitely not something you wouldn't get used to, but yeah, there's no like real shuttery, pig rooty or anything like that. It's a really, really good combo, this. So there you go, that's just cruising at 80k an hour with the bimodal shut. Just sounds like a factory car. Sounds really good. No drone, nothing like that. So we're just getting data, and Rex is doing gearbox tuning as we're going, so I just thought I'd jump in and bring you along.
It's really hard to hear on the video, but it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
Really happy with this exhaust. Yeah, sounds great. This whole combo, just lightning in a bottle. Except we can do it again and again and again. Come to a stop. Just like to say again as well, just how much I just really like these things. They're just so nice to drive. Again, especially these Series 2s, LS3, paddle shift. This car with a working sunroof, 6080 and LS combos, just such a good setup. Big fan. So that's sport mode, which the shifts are a bit tighter, a bit harder. So being Series 2, there's also the heads-up display, which actually could also be in Series 1s for all I know, to be honest, but just, yeah, I'm a huge fan of these cars.
I think the heads-up display could be a SSV thing.
Oh yeah, like a trim.
Yeah, because I think the push button start was the same. I think that might have been SSV. And
the steering wheel shape is too, the bottom.
Yeah,
So the noise you would have heard when Rex was testing that 1-2 shifts, that's what we've been chasing, trying to figure out what that is before the car leaves today, and we've just pinned it down and figured it out that it is just one of the bolts on the crossmember, gearbox crossmember, just contacting the exhaust when it's under load. So we figured it out and got to the bottom of it, so we'll just come up with a permanent solution for that now. A bit of massaging on the cat section on the exhaust, and then she'll be ready to go to the owner. But every now and then you'll have a little bit of something like that, but just got to chase it down and figure it out so you don't have that noise. But yeah, anyway, awesome car, really happy with it, awesome combo, love it. If you want to do it to yours, get in contact with me. If you want to do it in your own garage, go to our shop, buy yourself something nice, do it at home. Anyway, thanks for watching, we'll see you on the next one. Peace out, see you, bye.